Already. It does. I'm 1 second in. Would it be a trip to the Mackinac Turtle?
Kualoa Ranch.
Whoa.
Okay, I gotta say, I'm gonna pronounce everything wrong. We should put a tracker.
Green light now.
Oh no! Oh yeah, it
Yes,
is.
it
Never
is.
mind.
So there's a pretty good sized TV here in the room.
No! So we just finished up getting.
Got cleaned up from the pool.
So we just got cleaned up from the pool. Congratulations to who did we play? Brian. It was a roast beef.
And then we're gonna hit the sack and get ready.
Aloha and welcome to another episode of Must See Adventures. Today is travel day. You excited, Liz?
I am, and I was gonna say it's travel day for 2/3 of us because Emmalee is actually already in Hawaii. She got there last night.
What the heck? You mean she went to Hawaii without us?
She did. She went with her band.
That's awesome. So this trip we've known about for a while. It's kind of been like 4 years in the making. Ever since Emmalee was a freshman, we knew her senior year the band was going to Hawaii. Mm-hmm. So we've kind of had this circled on the calendar for a while. And would Emmalee go to Hawaii without us?
I mean, she would, I'm sure, if she had the opportunity, but would we want her to go without us?
No way!
We don't want to be left out.
Yeah, so they're going to have an awesome time. So you're going to see a lot of me and Liz hanging out. We like each other a lot, so that should be really good. And then Emmalee will end up joining us. So enjoy the series. This is probably going to be like a 12-episode series of just paradise on Oahu. So speaking of Emilee's travel day, yesterday we were up at 2 a.m. to take her to the high school.
We're on our way to Okemos High School for a drop-off. And yes, that's right. It's 2:28 in the morning.
Yeah, so kind of crazy. So they had to leave the school at 3:30 in the morning for a 6:30 a.m. flight. And I was like, I was doing my backwards math on that. I'm like, you got 70 kids. They were doing 2 flights. Hers had 70. 70 kids plus chaperones. Checked bags. No one has TSA pre-check. Like an hour, 20 minutes to get to the Detroit airport. There's construction in town. How's that going to work? Well, you want to know how it worked? They were late. They were boarding just about the time they were getting all their bags checked and going through security. They had to hold the plane for the band. Now, that's very cool that United did that. But my gosh, like I would have been so stressed out if I was another passenger. But you know me, I was tracking them all day. And they landed at their normal estimated time, so they had some buffer in there, so that was really good. Then they had 5 hours at San Francisco.
Let's take a minute to hear from Emmalee directly about how her day went.
San Francisco Airport, I've heard apparently people really like it, but we were trapped to one wing, and the United wing was not a good wing because there was only health food. There was no fast food, no Starbucks, and that's not what a bunch of tired, hungry high schoolers really want. But we made do. We had a good time with our 5-hour layover. Then we took off to Honolulu from San Francisco, and I was sat between 2 strangers, not next to anyone in my group, and there were no screens. But I was a little worried at first, but I ended up making a couple of friends. I guess it's in my nature to just talk and make friends. So everything ended up being good. And then we landed here in Honolulu. From there, we got all of our stuff from the baggage claim, got on the buses that we'd be using for the rest of the trip, and we went to the Twin Fin, which is our hotel. And then once we got there, we were given our leis to do like the traditional lei welcoming here in Hawaii. So we got our leis. They gave us some time to go put on some fresh clothes at least. We didn't really have time to shower. So we got to put on some fresh clothes, and then we all walked down to a mall food court for some dinner, which wasn't the fanciest, but you know what? At that point, I was able to get a burger, and that was the first like real food I had that day. So it was really good. And after that, we went back to the hotel, and we pretty much all just crashed. But long day. Obviously, there was 15 plus hours of just travel. But you know what? It was a good start to the trip.
We have made it to the Detroit airport. Why am I singing? You know why I'm singing? Because I'm in a good mood. Michigan State is playing today, rocking the 2000 National Championship cap. And the airport is crazy. It is spring break in Michigan. I think half the state is here, ready to fly away and get to some warmer destinations. But we arrived early. Shout out to Chuck and Marianne. Thanks for the drive. Got kind of wild. 96 East was closed, which I told everybody, so we ended up having to take 94. Lots of trucks on the road. It was a smooth ride. Now it's time to check our bags and wait for our plane. We'll see you soon. Would it be a trip to Detroit Airport without the fountain? Oh, the monorail too. Hold on, I'm looking at the monorail.
Well, it could be a trip to Detroit Airport without the fountain or the monorail if you were in Evans Terminal instead of McNamara. But when you fly Delta from Detroit, then you can't miss the fountain and the monorail.
She's right. And here's something about Elizabeth that you may not know. She's always right. She's so smart. She knows everything. What about TSA PreCheck? Today, it was so great to have it, but something that's even better is digital ID.
So the digital ID is something that's really cool. I'm not sure if it's just a Delta exclusive. I think they only do it in a couple of the airports. Detroit is one of them. But if you have TSA PreCheck and you've enrolled for digital ID, you can actually just stand there. They scan your face. You don't have to give them a boarding pass or your ID or anything, and they'll validate your identity and your flight and let you right through security. So it's pretty great. It's super convenient. You don't have to have anything out of your pockets.
Since we arrived to the airport early and had a long flight ahead of us, we decided to make a visit to the Delta Sky Club to relax and have some breakfast. They had a pretty nice selection of breakfast offerings available that day, and even had some items to make your own charcuterie board. I enjoyed a nice bagel and some oatmeal. They also had some egg dishes, bacon, sausage, and even chicken and waffles, which Scott decided to try.
Cheers from the Delta Sky Lounge. We're just hanging out here. Our gate is actually right by the lounge, so we figured, like, let's just go straight to the lounge, have some breakfast, have a mimosa or two, and just relax before we have to board our long flight. It's really pretty up here, kind of quiet, but everyone's chilling, relaxing, having a grand old time before they kick off their Friday weekend.
The Delta Sky Club is a pretty nice place to hang out if you have a little bit of time to kill at the Detroit airport, and you have access to it. I don't know that I would necessarily pay to go to the Sky Club, but I guess if you're going to have a few drinks, it could be worth it. But they have a nice selection of some different food options. There's a bar. There was a Starbucks coffee machine, so you can make lattes and espressos and grab and go Coke products. So it's a pretty good offering. I will say I was actually disappointed with the restrooms at the one here in Detroit compared to the ones that we had in Boston Logan. Ours had a bunch of out-of-order stalls, and it wasn't really like the nicest atmosphere, but what can you do?
Because it was just the two of us for this flight, Scott and I decided that we would upgrade to the premium select seats for our outbound flight. But we learned later that we actually prefer the Delta Comfort seats to premium select, even though they're still pretty nice. We prefer the fact that in Delta Comfort, you can lift the armrest between seats, which makes you feel like you have a bit more room. The premium select seats, however, feel a little bit more crowded since you can't lift up the armrest.
If you lose an electronic device in your seat, please do not adjust your seat and ask a crew member for help.
As we leave the gate, fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal tip into the buckle.
Airline partners, thank you for choosing us.
So they gave us a snack of a little cheese biscuit. They came in this little box. They're kind of cute. They say that they are white cheddar and chive. I would say, okay, so they're kind of like this little thing in here. They kind of remind me of like a fancy Cheez-It, is kind of how I describe them. The texture's not quite the same, but the taste is very similar.
And I have my cheese biscuit as well. And this is kind of cool. This is a special can for the 100th anniversary, the centennial. So look at this. Look at that.
After a couple hours into our flight, it was time for meal service. We both selected the pasta, and it came with salad and tiramisu. It was pretty good. Scott and I both typically select the pasta options on longer flights and tend to find that they're pretty good on Delta. Our flight was great, and it didn't feel like it took very long, probably because we were so excited to get to Hawaii and kept ourselves entertained between chatting with each other, texting Emmalee, and watching movies. Scott was really hoping going into the flight that he would be able to watch some of the first round of the men's college basketball tournament, but unfortunately, there was no live TV on this flight. He did enjoy the HBO Yacht Rock documentary and The Godfather Part 2, just to name a couple of the items that he watched. As we made our way closer to Honolulu, it was time for the snack service on today's flight. It was a very strange offering. They had either a roast beef salad or a tofu stir fry. Scott and I both decided to try the salad, but unlike the pasta, this did not taste good. Now sit back and relax for a bit as we make our descent into Honolulu.
Have landed. We are in Honolulu, and now it's time to take a shuttle to go to bag claim.
It took a little while to wait for the shuttle to the baggage claim, but that's all right. We're on island time now. It was nice to stand outside, stretch our legs, and enjoy the breeze. Eventually, we made our way.
That was unbelievable. We took the shuttle, and bam, our bags are already waiting. Now it's time to get the car rental. Let's see what we get.
The Honolulu airport is fairly easy to navigate. You just follow the signs and make your way over to the car rentals while you enjoy the open-air breeze along your walk. Scott and I generally rent cars through National because we're Emerald Isle members. I was a little concerned going into this trip because I had heard that it can be hard to get larger vehicles. We were hoping to get a larger vehicle because we had so much luggage with us and knew we'd be picking Emmalee up later on the trip. We were super lucky that we were able to find this really great Nissan Pathfinder for our trip. It had lots of room and was able to hold all of our luggage with ease. This is our second trip to Oahu, and we're splitting our time between Waikiki and Ko'olina. Since Emmalee's band is staying in Waikiki, and it's an area that we didn't really explore on our last visit, we decided that we would do the same. We knew that we would be staying at Aulani, a Disney resort and spa, for the second half of our trip. But we had to do some research on where to stay in Waikiki since we had never been there. We knew that we wanted someplace nice since it was just going to be the two of us, and this was really our first vacation, just the two of us, in a really long time. We also wanted something that was close to the beach. There are tons of hotels available in Waikiki, so it took quite a bit of research to narrow things down. I started off by looking at beachfront properties because we knew that that was a priority for us. We also saw that there were a couple of nice historic hotels available in Waikiki, and after a bit of research, we settled on the Royal Hawaiian, otherwise known as the Pink Palace. The hotel has been there since the 1920s and is a classic Waikiki resort. We were really excited to check it out, although also a bit nervous because we had heard that the Waikiki area can be pretty busy and hectic with tourists. While the airport is relatively close to Waikiki, Honolulu traffic always seems to be fairly congested, and it took us a little over an hour from the time that we got into our rental car until we made it to the hotel parking garage. We liked how the parking garage had fun Hawaiian icons for each of their floors. Floor 5 was a favorite of ours, and we ended up parking there most days. The Royal Hawaiian's parking is shared with the Sheraton next door, and you walk through their entryway to make your way over to the Royal Hawaiian's main entry. We just loved walking through this area and saying hello to the fish in the koi pond. And then, when you make this turn and come around the corner to see the Pink Palace, it's just spectacular. You can enter the Royal Hawaiian's property from 2 different entryways, depending on if you're coming from the Royal Hawaiian Shopping Center or from the main entrance in the Sheraton, as we did here. We just loved this entryway. We always received a friendly welcome from the staff, and then walked in and were hit with the amazing smell and could feel the breeze right through the hotel. When you enter through the valet entrance, if you turn right, you can visit some of the shops, and eventually you end up at this lawn with a beautiful lookout over the ocean with rocking chairs to relax in. This is also the lawn where the luau takes place. If you go to the left, this takes you to more shops, more incredible scenery, and also to the check-in desk, which is where we went first since we were so excited to check in and see our room. As we checked into the resort, we received leis. I got a nice fresh flower lei and Scott received a nut lei, which was a fun surprise because they don't do anything like that at Aulani. We also received pink bands, which are similar to magic bands if you're familiar with them from the Disney parks. This band was our key to the room and also was our indicator that we could use the pool at both the Royal Hawaiian and the pool next door at the Sheraton. After check-in, our room was already ready, and we made the walk over, just mesmerized by the beauty of the hotel.
Look at this view from our room here at the Royal Hawaiian. It is unbelievable. It is open air through like the lobby, the check-in areas, great breezeways and walkways. Here I am just staring at the beach and the ocean. Look at those palm trees. The weather is unbelievable. I don't think I'm going to leave this area except to see Emmalee play, which we'll talk about what the plans are for tomorrow. But I mean, we've been up a long time, as you know, and it's only 4 p.m. It feels like 10 back home, so we're going to grind it out. We're going to watch Michigan State. They're about to tip off in the NCAA tournament, get some food, hang out, and do some awesome stuff. But how about a room tour? Let's take a tour of the room.
Welcome to the Royal Hawaiian. We are here in Waikiki Beach, and let's take a quick tour of our room here in the Aulani Tower at the Royal Hawaiian Hotel. As you can see from the entryway, you walk in and you are immediately hit with a breathtaking view. That is clearly the reason that you are booking this hotel, in this specific room type. So we have an ocean view, oceanfront king room here in the Aulani Tower. There are also historic rooms available at the Royal Hawaiian, but we decided to stay in the newer Aulani Tower because all of their rooms have balconies that face out right on Waikiki Beach. And so we felt like we probably wanted the view. We took that 10-hour flight, and here was our reward when we got here.
Pretty nice reward.
I think so. Clearly, we have this nice big king bed. There is some art, because like from some angles, I think the room looks pretty plain and white, but there is bright, colorful artwork above the bed, and it's really nice that this bed faces the ocean. Like, that's pretty great, so you can be laying there and you're seeing that view right from your bed when you wake up in the morning. Although there is a cool sliding door feature. I've never actually seen something like this instead of a curtain that you can close if you do want to have it get darker in the room. But I think we'll probably just leave it open.
I will be using that chair, though, to watch Michigan State tip off here in March Madness.
There's like a safe and some more glasses in here. So you got like a desk that has some drawers. The furniture's a little bit dated, I would say, a little shabby maybe, but I mean, you're probably not really here for the interior of the room so much. I thought maybe could come out onto the balcony. Oh, and the leis that we're wearing. So right when we got here, it was really nice. We were walking up with our bags and we were greeted with, I got this fresh flower lei and Scott got a macadamia nut lei. And that was pretty cool that they greeted us with that right when we got here. So still have it on. And so if we step out onto our balcony, it's interesting because it's kind of crowded with the furniture, but the furniture is pretty nice. So you've got this bright pink couch that you can kind of lounge on. You can see along the side of the tower, you've got a great view of Diamond Head right over there. And then you've of course got this great beach view. And I'm sitting on that pink lounge right now, just looking out at this. So you could
Holy surfers.
I know there's tons of surfers out there right now.
Wow. Some sailboats too?
Yeah, there's lots of action here on Waikiki Beach. You also have a wicker table and chairs that you can sit at, which I think is kind of nice too, because you could like sit out here and have coffee or bring back some breakfast pastries, and you could really relax and just enjoy this nice view and this beautiful weather.
A sunset view or a sunrise view? I guess we're gonna find out, right?
Maybe if we're here during, well, we definitely in the morning.
I'll definitely be here in the morning.
Yeah, I think with this big glass window here, we'll find out in the morning.
What I'm gonna love is just hearing the sound of those crashing waves like at night or in the morning. It's gonna be unbelievable.
And there's birds that are flying by us right now.
There's music playing out there too, I hear.
I do hear some live music. And there's also, you can see right down below here, where there's a little tower pool down there, which we might need to check out before it gets much later. And then you can see some of the rest of the Royal Hawaiian that way.
There's a plane taking off.
Oh yeah, there is a plane taking off. I don't know if you can see that.
Had to fly over some water to get here.
So beautiful. And then there's still crazy Michigan State fans shouting from inside the room.
Baby. Come on, we won the tip. Let's see if we can get inside. Here's my play-by-play. There's an out fadeaway. Is it good? Oh no! That's all right. Don't have to make the first basket of the game. Just got to score the most points.
That is how basketball works. There's a pretty good sized TV there in the room. And the bed looks pretty nice and comfy from what I can tell. I'm excited to check it out, but I have to keep myself awake for a while.
Oh, want to see something I'm excited about? Is this coffee area that comes with these cups.
Yeah, the pink stuff that they give us, and you can also show your wristband, and you can see Scott's neck, his lay too, that he's got the macadamia nuts. But yeah, so instead of a room key, they give you these kind of rubbery pink bands for your room key, kind of like a magic band, but I think they're really comfortable in comparison. I will say they're like a really nice soft rubber. And yeah, so part of the resort fee, all of the resorts in this area have like a crazy resort fee. You just can't avoid it.
Michigan State's down 5-0 already.
But this one of the things that's included are these pink metal water bottles. So you get these 2 of them, and then I think every day you get 2 bottles of water, which they're these carton style. So I might need to move those into the fridge. And then it looks like you got a nice little coffee setup or tea with a Keurig. And then underneath here, we have a little fridge or cooler. So we might need to put the waters in there, just in this cabinet here. So this is kind of a cute little area when you first get into the room. I think it's cute because it's got this window. I don't know if you can see the glass there, but that way you can still see out to the view. Like, it doesn't block your view at all. I haven't really checked out the bathroom yet, but we can go and see what we see. It's a pretty basic bathroom. You've got a sink area. There's some storage underneath there maybe.
Very basic.
Very basic. But there's also this really cute robe that comes in the room. There's 2 of these pink and white striped Royal Hawaiian robes. There's a closet here in the bathroom we've already put some of our luggage into. And then you've got pretty basic standard shower and tub combo. Nothing really to write home about, but it will get the job done. It comes with, it looks like, some mango nectar shampoo, conditioner, and body wash pumps in the bathtub. And then this is really interesting. It looks like our toilet also has a bidet. So I don't know, there's this little control over here. We'll see if anyone's brave enough to really check this thing out. Let us know in the comments what you think about bidets. I don't know that I've ever stayed at a hotel that had one, so this will be new.
All right, so State's struggling a little bit, plus the pool closes at 6, and we definitely want to get some pool time, so I'll follow the game a little bit on my phone, but hopefully the Spartans can turn it around. It is an ugly start, but that, my friends, is a beautiful view. Let's find the pool and take a dip.
We didn't mess around and went straight to the pool before it closed and shared some of our initial thoughts of the hotel.
It's pink. There's palm trees. It's right on the beach. It's like the definition of paradise.
Sorry, I just wanted to show that palm tree.
And so like we got off the plane, we got here, we checked in, we got fresh flower lays. You saw that view from the room. And then now we're just like in the pool already. It's amazing. I think I could just live here right now and be happy.
You've heard from me what I think. What are your thoughts?
I'm loving it. So I will say, like, the parking garage, like the initial thoughts were kind of crazy. We've been to Oahu before. We know like Honolulu, Waikiki area can be like, the traffic can be crazy, and it was madness. Like, it took a little while. Like, you would go through like 4 light cycles just to like move a little bit, but you know, patience on the island, right? So we got through that, and then the parking garage, I'm gonna be honest, was a little stressful. But
It was.
But we're tired though. But so I found like the first spot I could get, and I was like, man, this feels really narrow. This is really tight. And Liz gets out. She's like, yeah, this is a compact car spot. I'm like, oh, that explains it. And we got this big Nissan something. I don't remember what it's called.
I think it's a Pathfinder.
Yeah. So it's a pretty big car. So then I move around. I keep doing the hamster wheel stuff. And then we finally find a spot that is good. So we park. And then that's when I was like finally kind of cool, you know, like we found, we walked over to the hotel, we got the lays that Liz just talked about, the staff were so great and friendly, and you feel that like open air breeze coming through the lobby, everything is pink, it's pretty, the room is great. But we're tired though, it's like 11 something our time, so we're just grinding through. That's why I think the pool is great for a refreshing swim, then we'll get some dinner,
and then
take some showers and relax, and then we'll finally go to bed.
After a nice refreshing swim in the pool after a long day of travel, we decided that we should go and check out the beach since it's right there by the pool. We walked out on the sand and put our feet in the ocean. It felt so good and it was really nice to hear the waves.
Victory for MSU, that's right, coach. We started to play Spartan basketball. That's what my man just said in the second half. No sweat at all. Congratulations to Bryant. They gave us a heck of a run, and we just chilled at the pool, had an awesome time, relaxing, enjoying an almost sunset. But you gotta see these sailboats. There are so many sailboats outside. I think they're prepping for an awesome sunset type of viewing. It is awesome. We went out to the beach, it was gorgeous. We're just trying to stay awake, basically. The Spartans hyped me up, so I got another boost of energy. Plus, what are we about to do, Lizzie?
We need some food.
We need some food.
In the background this whole time?
It feels like 12:30 in the morning. We are hungry. So let's go get some food.
We decided not to leave the hotel that evening since we'd already had such a long day, and decided to try dinner at the Mai Tai Bar. Before we get to dinner though, let's hear from Emmalee on how her day with the band is going.
So this was our first real day in Hawaii. We had everyone there. We were all doing the same thing. So this was actually a pretty jam-packed day, and it ended up being one of my favorite days, I think. So we woke up kind of early-ish, not too early, and we took a bus ride over to the Secret Island, which is by Kualoa Ranch. Because we did it through Kualoa Ranch. We technically didn't have to go to the main ranch area though, because we already had the wristbands. They brought them to us. But before we went on the Secret Island, we also got to watch a demonstration from a Polynesian chief. He showed us how to make fire from wood, and he showed us some ways to weave with the palm leaves. And we all got a little woven headband from the palm leaves that we wore for the rest of the day. Then we got on our little boats, and we went over to the Secret Island, which was so much fun. I know I had some friends kayak, there were a lot of people paddleboarding. I just kind of swam around for a little bit, but then we are also able to canoe ourselves over to a little sandbar. It wasn't a very long canoe ride, maybe 3 minutes. The group before us took forever, but my canoe, we were going. So yeah, we got to spend 15 minutes at this little sandbar, which was nice, especially because a lot of the ground was pretty rocky at the Secret Island and the beach, and I forgot my water shoes. But the sandbar was nice. And then after that, we were able to get a nice lunch there, had a couple hot dogs, which I enjoyed, and just played some games, hung out with my friends. I know I played Giant Jenga, and I just hung out with some people. Then after that, I think we got back on the buses, but before heading back to the hotel, we stopped at one of the lookouts. I can't remember the name of the lookout, but we had a great view. It was super cool up in the mountains. Actually, it must be one of the windier lookouts, but it wasn't too windy when we were there. Then we went back to the hotel, got changed, got ready, and we drove up the mountain to Nutridge.
it's like the Nutridge Estate, which is actually now owned, I think, by the Hawaii State Tours. They purchased it back in 2017, and they completely like refurbished all of it, brought it back to its prior glory. Actually, it used to be a place where like Elvis Presley used to hang out back in the day, but now obviously it's all new things pretty much, except there is this still one building that's like remained the same throughout all of its time. And we got to watch all these super cool demonstrations of all sorts of Polynesian dances and stuff typical of a luau. We got to eat food, we got to play games, and it was a ton of fun. And we ended up staying there pretty late and just dancing and having a good time with everyone. At the luau, we were able to play one of these games, and if we successfully did it, we got a raffle ticket, and at the end of the night, a raffle was drawn. So the first two prizes were like macadamia nuts and like chocolate covered macadamia nuts or something like that. Some like candies, which was cool. Then the third number called. That was mine. And I was like, all right, where's my prize? No. He says, come up here. He being our like tour director, cousin Reno. Come up here. I'm standing on the stage in front of everyone. I have to do a hula to earn my prize. I was a little thrown off, I'm sure. People said I didn't make too much of a fool of myself though, and that I looked very confident in what I was doing. So that's good at least. But yes, I did a little bit of hula, and I ended up winning a tiki butt mug. It's called a tiki butt mug because it has a butt on the back. And but it does say Nutridge Estate in Oahu, so that's really cool.
While Emmalee and her friends were having fun at the Nutridge Estate, Scott and I were ready to eat because we were so hungry after our long day of travel. We waited for our table at the beautiful open-air Mai Tai Bar.
Hey Liz, what'd you think about this view?
This is perfect. There's still all the surfers out there.
So we just got cleaned up from the pool. Michigan State won, as you all know. I don't know why I keep talking about that. We're a 2 seed. We beat a 15 seed. But we just got a seat at the Mai Tai Bar.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Like the pink umbrellas, and we're right on the beach, right here on the Waikiki beach.
It's so awesome. And we're getting some waters.
At the Mai Tai Bar at the Royal Hawaiian, and I got the Royal Mai Tai. You know, you're at the Royal Hawaiian, at the Mai Tai Bar, you've got to get a Royal Mai Tai. It's really good. It's very fruity, and I look how cute it is. It even has like the little pink umbrella, like the umbrellas here that say the Royal Hawaiian on it. It's got the pineapple and these pretty flowers. I just love it.
Just look at that. You can see Diamond Head. Oh, look at that.
Diamond
Cheers! Our friends Jared and Stacy, shout out to Jared and Stacy. They are so awesome at sending us like awesome drinks on Friday nights in their cute town of Edwardsville, where they have all these cool spots. So I know it's a little later for them right now, but we're gonna send them a photo of this too. Let's see if they respond. We didn't hear from Jared and Stacy, which is to be expected. It's past midnight there, but it's Friday night. You know who we did hear from? Emmalee.
Oh,
and she's at a luau right now.
She is.
On the other side of the island.
Like, not super far away. I think it looked like she was about 3 or 4 miles away.
Okay, oh yeah, that's not far away at all.
Not super far. But like inland more, I think.
So it's just kind of fun. Like we're kind of having our thing. She's doing her thing with her friends.
Yeah, maybe we can post a picture here because she said she was having dinner with a view, and she sent us a couple pictures of her view from Nutridge Estate and of them at the luau having a great time. And so I had to share with her that we were also having dinner with a view, just a little bit of a different view.
Yeah, with the beach and Diamond Head. And I have a beautiful view of Elizabeth.
And I have a beautiful view of Scott.
Aww. So we're hungry. Like the food on the plane was kind of weird today.
It was a little bit weird.
Like the lunch, which was like what they serve you an hour before you land, was a roast beef salad.
Yeah.
Or tofu stir fry was the other option.
Yeah, and it was really weird. Like, it was kind of weird looking roast beef, and then like a few pieces of lettuce.
Well, I ate it. Roast beef, good.
No, I
salad, good.
It didn't look good.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
But the pineapple, there was a bowl of pineapple with it,
Right.
so I ate that.
Yep.
So I feel like I just had a lot of weird, like, little snacky things.
Yeah, because we had the pasta earlier, and all the music is starting now.
Yeah, we got some live music
Such
now.
an awesome spot. So we're kind of hungry. So we're going to share some stuff.
We are.
We went with the classic chicken tenders and fries.
Yeah, like real grown up.
A smash burger.
And then we also did get some garlic shrimp. So.
I think it's spicy too. It had a little flame next to it, so I'm excited to check that out.
Sounds good.
But what a great first day. Yeah, so let's have a great meal.
Yeah, it was mostly a travel day, but like we went to the pool, we saw the beach, we got to eat in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
We had live music and a view for dinner.
Great start to the trip when you were sitting on a plane for 10 hours.
Yeah, for sure.
So here's the chicken tenders. What'd you say about the French fries?
They are crispy coated.
Do I like those?
Scott is the #1 crispy coated French fry hater. I don't know what it is about it.
But I'm hungry, so I'm gonna get into
Better eat
it.
them anyway, though.
Crispy coated fries. This has been a great meal. We've just been chatting, talking about the trip, the flights, and just listening to this awesome music back here. I'm sure you can see my guy there in the Aloha shirt. Woo! He just finished the song. He's just killing it.
So good.
He's so good. The shrimp was really great. I said it was going to be spicy, and it did have a little kick. You were surprised.
Yeah, so the first shrimp that I had was not very spicy, so I got like walled into it apparently. And then I took a big bite of the second shrimp, and it was really spicy.
We did like the kids' meal, basically, like the tenders, the shrimp, and the burger. We over-ordered. We're pretty full.
We did, yeah. I still have a whole chicken tender over here that I don't know if we're gonna be able to eat, but we were really hungry. We just needed to get something like substantial in us because we had just like a bunch of snacks all day.
Definitely hit the spot. The Mai Tai is great. It is about 7:30. My minimum
It's like 2 in the morning.
feels like 2 in the morning. My minimum stay up time, it has to be at least 9. We have to get to at least 9 o'clock, which I think we can do because we still gotta like maybe. Well, I don't think we're gonna unpack because we're gonna be moving to Aulani. Spoiler alert, we're moving to Aulani after a few days, but I'm loving the Royal Hawaiian. It's a beautiful resort.
I could have stayed here the whole time.
We honestly could have stayed here the whole time. Mine's like the traffic of Waikiki, which we plan to like walk around and explore a little bit tomorrow, but yeah, we're just gonna hang out. I'll probably do a closing clip here in a little bit. Maybe show you some of the sights because I want to see what it looks like at dark because there's cool like lights and lanterns around. So let's check it out.
It's better than drinking alone. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Where we're all in the mood for a melody. You got us feeling alright.
You having fun, Lizzie?
I am. Such a nice night.
It's really
You hear
nice.
the waves and the music and the stars are out. It's like such a clear night. It's beautiful. There's people still out in the water too.
Well, I think we're gonna call it a wrap for the episode. We hung out a little bit more at the Mai Tai Bar. Our guy played some Billy Joel for us. That was fun.
We went out by the beach, kind of in like the lawn that's out in front of Waikiki Beach out there. It was really nice. We got to listen to the waves a little and see the stars.
That was awesome.
And then we checked out the gift shop, which we'll probably do a walk through another day and record. We didn't record that, but we did look at some of the gift shops. They were really cute.
Yeah, that's
Lots of-
exactly. It's funny. We think alike. I was like, tomorrow's episode we might show some more of the hotel.
Yeah,
Like,
because it was like dark out. It's super pretty at night too, but
oh, it's so great. Here's a funny story though. So, really love the musician. We're having a great time talking and listening to the waves, just having a great time. And he starts playing a song, and I'm like, I think he's about to play Fast Car.
and I said, I'm pretty sure it's Love Story by Taylor Swift.
I'm like, really?
And Mr. named that too, and I'm never one to try to out-song guess him.
Yeah. And what song was it?
It was Love Story by Taylor Swift.
It was.
But what was really crazy is right after that, he played Fast Car.
Unbelievable.
Like, super weird.
Like,
It was like Scott was predicting
Are there
it.
some lottery tickets sold at the Royal Hawaiian? Because like I feel like I'm lucky tonight.
Yeah, it was a really good night, and we're tired. We had a long day, but I feel like even though we had a long day, we really had a good day.
It was a
too.
great day. Swimming, beach, just checking out the grounds. This resort is awesome. Like, so we've never stayed in this area. We didn't know what to do for a hotel. We were kind of last minute, honestly, kind of booking this
Yeah.
for knowing how far in advance we were going to stay here. And I mean, it's only like a few hours, but I love this resort. I really do.
I'm curious to see how it is during the day, but like we're right in the middle of Waikiki Beach, which is super busy. Lots of people out on the beach itself. But like right now, we're in this beautiful lawn area. There's greenery all around us, and it's so quiet and just like tranquil seeming. Like there's not a ton of people. I really like this resort.
It's
I feel
awesome.
like it's a really good mix.
Yep. So let's go back to the room. This is going to be it. So thanks for liking, subscribing, put a comment in. Is there something you recommend at Waikiki Beach or this area? Do you like the hotel? Just let's start the conversation.
So we're gonna head to bed and get ready for a fun day tomorrow. We'll be here for our first full day in Hawaii, and we're gonna get to start it out with a really awesome thing, which is Emmalee performing with her band at Pearl Harbor. So that's how we'll be starting our day tomorrow. I'm excited.
Yeah, you don't want to miss that. So thanks for liking and subscribing Must See Adventures, and we'll see you next time.